Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Chris Simms Unbuttoned podcast. Proud to be partnered up with PointsBet. Okay, that's going to be an awesome relationship. We got a lot of good things to talk about weekly throughout the year. And, you know, when you match up with PointsBet, you get to talk to big timers like Jay Croucher. So I'm excited to have him in here. And, of course, we got a big game tonight, Thursday Night Football. Packers at Arizona Cardinals, two heavyweights in the NFC. Lots of implications for the playoffs, number one seed. Jay, the line goes from 3, the Arizona Cardinals favored by 3, and then we get the news of Davante Adams out of the lineup, out of the game because of COVID. Now it's at 6.5. Jay, break that down for us and what that means on the markets here.
Sure. So there's really two things at play here. One is Davante Adams. We see him as the most valuable skill position player in the NFL. We actually think that he is worth more to Green Bay than Derrick Henry is to Tennessee. That's how much we respect Davante Adams, and that's why, you know, he shifts the line so significantly, you know, with the value at that wide receiver position. And so with him out and also Allen Lazard out, the thing is just with cluster injuries in the NFL, that's where you're going to see serious line movement when you get multiple injuries at the same position. You know, that's what happened to Kansas City on the offensive line, you know, in the playoffs last year and probably cost them a Super Bowl. And then when you see Lazard and Adams go down, now Aaron Rodgers is really going to have his work cut out for him.
Yeah, agreed there. I mean, of course, it's like other than Aaron Rodgers, that's the one player you don't want to lose on the Green Bay Packers football team for this type of matchup. You know, one of the things I bring up, Jay, all the time is, you know, the Packers aren't necessarily a big play offense. They're not. It's a little bit, you know, surgical. They don't mess up. They're great at execution. And then they had that splash big play to Davante Adams from time to time. But he's really the go-to guy as far as big playmakers. And that's what concerns me a little bit about, you know, the overall line of the game tonight. Because, yes, these are two heavyweights. But, you know, the Arizona Cardinals, they can execute on that side of the ball too. Maybe not quite to the level of the Green Bay Packers, who kind of execute and wait for you to mess up and they gain a possession. But we got a team here in Arizona that executes on both sides of the ball too, let alone superstars littered across their roster. And that, to me, is what scares me for Green Bay in the matchup specifically. It does. I mean, I'm going with Arizona to cover the points. I am in this one. I mean, of course, I'm scared. It's Aaron Rodgers and company, and there'll be a little bit of a different approach on the offensive side of the ball. But you said it. No Davante Adams, and then really what I view as their second-best receiver in Allen Lazard, as you also mentioned. I just think it's going to be a lot to ask of that offense against a really good Cardinals defense. And, of course, we know that Arizona offense can put up a lot of points on that side of the ball too.
Definitely. And I think there's also just a little bit of fatigue around Green Bay and the fact that they don't look as dominant or explosive as they did last year when they went 13-3, you know, under Matt LaFleur, and they were, you know, so close to getting to the Super Bowl. Maybe they would have if they didn't kick the field goal in the NFC title game. And so, you know, previously when Davante Adams has been out, Green Bay have been fine, but that's because they've relied really heavily on Aaron Jones. And so, you know, this game, it might not even come down to Aaron Rodgers as much as it comes down to Aaron Jones and whether Green Bay can get something going on the ground.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that's going to be a big aspect to look at of the football game too. And Aaron Jones, I do think now is the guy that you look at to make a big play, you know, to you know, kind of change field position. But Arizona, with all these great linebackers they got and coverage, of course, I like their secondary. It's a very creative scheme on the defensive side of the ball. And, of course, hey, here's the other element that we got to talk about. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, and you're right, Aaron Jones, certainly something to watch out. But hey, the Green Bay defense, it's been good. But I'm with you in the fact that, you know, the offense isn't as explosive as last year. The defense is good, but this is by far the best offense they've had to play all year long. And not only can Arizona run the ball really effectively, like just run the ball straight at you, Chase Edmonds right down your throat, you have to worry about the Kyler Murray aspect of the run game as well, let alone now you got to match up with all the weapons on the outside. And we know DeAndre Hopkins is questionable, but it doesn't really affect my view a whole lot just because the Cardinals have weapons galore on that side of the ball. And, I mean, if I'm reading you right, you don't see DeAndre Hopkins out of the game as a game breaker for Arizona on the offensive side of the ball, do you? Or maybe I'm wrong here.
No, DeAndre Hopkins is huge. He changes a lot, but still, Kyler Murray, he is the guy. He's our MVP favorite right now, narrowly in front of the Josh Allens, the Dak Prescotts of the world. And Arizona, they're one of the most interesting teams in the league because, we're now at the point where we're treating them as a real threat to win the Super Bowl. And, after they annihilated Tennessee in week 1, we kind of treated that as an aberration. It was such a strange result where they go into Tennessee as underdogs. Chandler Jones destroys Taylor Lewan with 5 sacks and a forced fumble. And then after that, Arizona, they took care of some weaker teams. But now we just see that week in, week out, they just take care of business. They destroyed the Rams, the Titans, Cleveland in Cleveland. And so they're just a really well-rounded team. The secondary has been much better than anticipated. So is the whole defense. And with Kyler Murray playing at an MVP level, obviously a threat, with his legs as well as through the air, we view this right now as, one of the best teams in the league and probably the biggest threat to Tampa Bay in the NFC.
Yeah, I understand those thoughts all the way. You're right. I mean, they have versatility on both sides of the ball, and I think that's what translates to winning week after week in the NFL. Your ability to adapt to the team you got to play that week. And, yeah, their defense, it's scheme-specific for the week on a weekly basis. I love what they do. And you're right, the offense, again, it's the balance. It's the Kyler Murray effect. It's the other receivers not named DeAndre Hopkins that are also dangerous. Zach Ertz at tight end. And, we all know they can make big plays and, get on fire. And you go, oh, my gosh, wow. But I think to your point, they've shown the ability to also be like, oh, you want to take away big plays? We can be patient and go on a 12, 13, 14-play drive. I'm with you, Jay. They are a very, very impressive team, and I'm glad you and me teamed up because I think we're kind of an impressive team too. That's why I encourage everybody to go on PointsBet, make some bets, and Jay will be joining me every week, thanks to this PointsBet partnership with Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Jay, you the man. I'll talk to you next week. Keep up the good work, dude.
Appreciate it, Chris. Let's speak next week.
All right, buddy. See ya.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.